Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt and I do like video games, and in today's video we're here to talk about Xbox because there's some pretty awesome news coming out. We got a showcase coming up, some news on Starfield for an update coming later this month. We're going to get into all of that, so let's talk about it. But before we get into anything, I want to just say up front, real quick, that videos might be a little bit sporadic coming up here over the next couple months or whatever, however long. Might be a little sporadic. I'm going to at least for sure be doing one video a week, and I'm going to try to make that video Friday. I'm going to try for 2 videos a week, Monday and Friday like I always do, but I'm going to at least be doing 1 video a week, and the 2-player podcast will remain untouched. Every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be doing that. But the reason for this change is because your boy just recently got a job, a part-time job. So obviously, I don't have as much time as I had before to work on creating content. But like I said, I will still be making content, at least a video every week, and then the 2-player podcast every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. But with that being said, let's get into today's topics. But up first, let's talk about Starfield, because Starfield is set to be getting a huge update later this month, especially on the console side of things, specifically the Series X side of things, because Series X consoles will be getting 60 FPS on Starfield. And if you're on a VRR display, you'll be able to choose between 30 FPS, 40 FPS, 60 FPS, or uncapped frame rate modes on VRR displays. Let me be clear about that. On VRR displays. Otherwise, you choose between 30 or 60 FPS. And this all comes from a tweet from Tom Warren. He did link the Bethesda.net article that goes over in more detail the specifics of this update coming later this month. But there is a performance mode. 60 FPS is coming to Series X for Starfield, so look forward to it later this month. But there's also more news regarding this update. They will be adding new surface maps. Now, this was one of the complaints of Starfield, and I kind of complained about it myself as well. As one of my things that I didn't particularly like about the game was when you went into the surface map, it was pretty bare bones. It didn't tell you much at all, and it didn't look good. It just didn't look appealing at all. It made me not want to use it, quite frankly. I'd much rather just use my scanner or whatever it was called to just look somewhere and fast travel, as opposed to opening up that surface map and just seeing a bunch of nothing. But there's going to be new detail added so you can see the actual terrain of the surface. You can see different locations like bars, restaurants, weapon stores. All sorts of that information will be right there on your surface map, so you can fast travel right to where you want to go, which is fantastic. I'm glad they're doing this. They are also adding a new difficulty to the game, an extreme difficulty above the very hard difficulty. I'm definitely interested to try this out because I played through most of my first playthrough on normal, and then I switched to hard, and I was like, okay, that's not much different. Then I switched to very hard, and I'm like, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. So I've been playing on very hard for like, I don't know, 2-3 playthroughs at this point. So I'm interested to see what the extreme difficulty brings. How much harder than very hard is the extreme difficulty? I'm very interested to find that out myself, so I'm definitely going to be looking into that as well. They also talked about adding more ship customization and the fact that, people are making these really awesome ships, these really cool designs and everything, and that's great. You can customize the outside of your ship, and people are doing that, but you could never customize the interior of your ship, and now finally, with this update, you'll be able to customize and furnish the interior of your ship, and I will absolutely be taking advantage of this. They'll also be adding the ability to respec your traits once you start a new game plus, which I'm really excited for because, after you play like 3 or 4 playthroughs with the same character, with the same traits, you kind of want to try some new things. So the ability to respec your traits is going to be huge for me at least. And you'll also be able to change your appearance upon starting a new game plus if you ever want to do that. Now, the biggest thing that we got, or the biggest piece of information that we got from this update, is that they talked a little bit about adding a land vehicle for Starfield. Now, This will not be coming in the May 15th update. However, the way they were talking about it made it sound like it would probably be launching around the same time that the Shattered Space expansion launches, which, by the way, some news on that, will be launching later this year, fall 2024, and I'm definitely looking forward to a new story in Starfield. And with ground traversal being one of the main complaints for Starfield, I mean, for me personally, I didn't really mind it, especially once I started using all the things I had available to me. I mean, I just take an amp and I can run pretty much anywhere in like a minute. So it doesn't take too long for me to get from point A to point B if you know what you're doing on that game. But the addition of a land vehicle means you won't have to use any amp. You can save all your things that you've been gathering. You can just get in a vehicle, go from point A to point B, and you can get there very quick, which is nice to see. But that is all I've got for Starfield. But we can't end the video without talking about this upcoming Xbox Game Showcase happening on Sunday, June 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. But we're getting an Xbox Game Showcase followed by a redacted direct on June 9th. Now, this redacted thing has since been not really confirmed. I mean, Xbox hasn't really said it themselves, but people have done some digging. It was pretty obvious that this direct is for Call of Duty, this year's new Call of Duty, which means Call of Duty will be at Xbox's showcase for the first time since I think 2014 when Advanced Warfare was at the Xbox E3 showcase. We're finally going to see Call of Duty on the Xbox show floor, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a very big moment for Xbox and for Call of Duty, quite frankly. And the fact that we're getting an entire direct dedicated to Call of Duty kind of puts into perspective how Xbox feels about Call of Duty as a brand. I mean, we just got a direct, the first ever direct with Starfield last year. And listen, as big as Starfield was, Call of Duty's bigger. Just on a global scale, Starfield was massive, but Call of Duty is bigger, and Xbox knows how big Call of Duty is, and that's exactly why they're giving it its own showcase after the Xbox Game Showcase. But now let's talk about the Xbox Game Showcase itself, because I want to discuss some things I want to see personally from the Xbox Game Showcase. And I'm sure there's going to be a ton of stuff there, from first party to third party to second party, whatever the case may be. I'm sure there will be a ton of stuff there. But I've got three things that I really, really want to see from the showcase. One of them sounds like, well, we're going to be getting it for sure. That is Gears of War 6. I really want to see Gears of War 6. Listen, between Halo and Gears are my favorite Xbox franchises. I mean, traditional Xbox franchises. Nowadays, it would probably be Fallout. It would probably be Elder Scrolls. It would probably be Halo. But traditionally, my favorite Xbox franchises are Halo and Gears. And we haven't had Gears for a while. I really enjoyed Gears 5. I really, really enjoyed Gears 5 Hivebusters. So I'm interested to see what they come back to us with for Gears 6. Because it's been a minute. We haven't heard from the Gears franchise for a while. So they're going to want to come back with style. They're going to want to show their game off. They're going to want to set a high bar with how they show it. So I'm really interested to see what Gears 6 is looking like. And hopefully, by all accounts, we should be seeing it this year at the showcase. Now, the two other things that I want to see at this showcase that haven't been reported on are Fable is one of them. And I think Fable makes a lot of sense because we did see the trailer for it last year showcasing Richard Ayoade in the game. And listen, guys, I love Richard Ayoade. He's hilarious. So when I saw that he was in the game, I got really excited. I'm hoping we can see some more of this game because we saw little small snippets of gameplay in that trailer last year. I want to see some full-fledged gameplay this year at Xbox's showcase. And then the last thing I want to see, I feel like this one's going to throw people for a loop because I feel like the obvious choice here would be Perfect Dark because Perfect Dark got announced. We haven't seen anything about it for, 4 years? Since 2020, we haven't seen a single thing about Perfect Dark. So I think that's the obvious choice. But I'm going to go with a little bit of a curveball here and say I want to see Clockwork Revolution because once this got announced last year, it instantly shot to like the top of my list for Xbox games I'm most excited for. I mean, that trailer was really awesome. It gave off, you know, those steampunk vibes, those BioShock vibes, but then you add this whole time element into the game. It looked really, really cool. Plus the fact it's an In Exile RPG, and I'm really, really excited to dive into that. Hopefully we get some more news on it. Hopefully we get some more gameplay on it. I really want to see that game for sure. I really, really want to see that game at this showcase. But let me know what you guys think. What are the 3 things you want to see at this Xbox showcase? Leave that down in the comments below. What are you excited to see from the whole Call of Duty Direct? Leave that in the comments. Leave a like if you like the video, and if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to stay up to date with it going forward over here on the channel, the best way to do that is consider subscribing. Consider ringing that notification bell, because it helps you stay up to date with everything that happens over here on the channel, and it helps promote me in the algorithm, helps push the videos out to way more people, and I always, always, always appreciate that. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.